So I get to work directly for Lutron. I have been there for about 3 years now. I am an East Coast native, so you guys are the only ones I'll wake up for at 6 a.m. I am actually from upstate New York, but I now live in California, so I get to cover the entire state of California. If any of you guys are my Custom Plus guys up in NorCal, nice to meet you. And so I now get to cover all of California for the residential business for Lutron. So I get to cover Caseta, RA2 Select, and Triathlon shades. So if you guys have any questions about any of these product lines, let me know. You don't have to stick to RA2 Select questions. And then we also have Jim Reifsnyder down here, who is the principal of Western. And so he is one of the California reps. If any of you guys don't know your rep firms, please let us know. We can introduce you guys to the correct people there that are an extension of the Lutron sales force. So with that.
Yeah, I'd highly recommend it, guys. Reach out to your rep firm. If you don't know them, they're a resource for you, especially on your first couple of projects. And, you know, it's important for us to have a relationship with you guys because we can help you, especially early on, get rolling and then, you know, help you grow your business with Lutron. We've seen guys start off in a class like this that now have businesses that are north of $2.5 million in Southern California Lutron business. So the opportunity is really there. So I'll be helping to answer questions during this. If you think of anything, just type it into the chat box, and between Gary and myself, we will do our very best. We got stumped once or twice. I am not an oversea expert, so I might have to ask for help from outside the box. But any other thing on the Lutron side, I can definitely help with. So looking forward to this. We had a lot of fun last night. And Kate, really appreciate you being up. And she said she was going to be fired up this morning, so she looks like she's got a game on, a couple cups of coffee.
So I'm actually one of the weird people who doesn't drink coffee, so I am just naturally energetic. So welcome to this until I crash at about 5 p.m. So, all right, I hope you guys are all ready. You have my contact info up on the slide. Again, I am based in California, but if you guys need help across the country, let me know. I can, again, introduce you to your local Lutron rep and your rep firms and make sure you guys have all the resources you need. I'll make sure I put my contact info back up at the end, and then Gary's also going to send out my slides so you guys will have it. All right, so if you guys have not had a Lutron training before, if you have, I wanted to make sure you guys knew a little bit about who Lutron was. We were created back in 1961 by a man, Joel Spira. You can see him up here. He was a Navy man. He created the first solid state dimmer. So before this, dimmers were these massive metal things that were only in coat rooms and theaters, things like that, very large buildings. And he really innovated this product down small enough to be able to fit into your house. The first small little rotary dimmer, we've all seen them. I still have one in my dining room back home in New York. And they last forever. They're amazing. The first ad campaign was actually Dial in the Romance. You guys can go look them up online. The ads are pretty funny for, you know, the 60s, very fitting for the time. And so we have been around forever. We actually started the lighting control industry, and we are the leader in this industry now. So if you guys didn't know any of this, welcome to the fun facts. This slide is a little bit more for California. So if any of you guys are based in California, I wanted to be able to show you guys who your rep firms were. So Neil Lighting covers Volume, Simi Valley. Western with Jim covers the Van Nuys, Cerritos, Irvine, San Diego, and Riverside locations. And then Innovative covers the Las Vegas location. Again, if you guys are not based in California, let me know. I can actually show you who your rep firms are and get you connected and make sure you have the resources. We literally could not do our jobs without our rep firms. They're amazing. They're an extension of our sales force. And honestly, I talk to someone from all my rep firms every single day. They're amazing. So definitely get in touch with them. So for Lutron's five principles, you definitely drink the Kool-Aid when you start getting into the Lutron world. And these 5 principles, I remember going in for my interview 3 years ago and walking through Lutron and seeing this everywhere in our building in Coopersburg, Pennsylvania. And I really didn't understand what it meant at the time until I started working for the company. And the first principle is to take care of the customer. And we talk about that in every single meeting. We are still privately held, family owned. So it means that we can really do what's best for the customer. You know, we don't have any outside forces that we have to report to. And it really makes it so that we can do what's best for you guys and do what's best for your homeowners. So one of the ways that we do that is by having 24/7 tech support. I will go into that a little bit more. A lot of people are a little bit wary of tech support sometimes. So I really want to ease your worries about that and show you where you can get all that information from us. The next principle is to take care of the company. We have over 2,700 patents and more than 17,000 products. I can never memorize all those SKUs. It's nuts. But we really do try to listen to you guys and ask you what you want to see from us, what innovations you want next, and really try to make those things happen. I know that within the last 3 years, I've seen a couple of products come out in some of our lines that I was getting asked for every single day in my other position with them. So we really do try to listen to you guys. If you have any ideas, throw them in the chat. We want to hear them. We want to hear what you guys need from us, what you guys are missing from our product lines, and just any crazy ideas. You guys see more in these homes than some of us do because you guys are there all the time. You see the pain points, you see what's missing. So please let us know. Next thing is by taking care of the people. Again, we are family owned, so it's really great to be able to feel like you have a say in the company. And that's why I really like to hear your guys' ideas on what we're missing so I can shoot it up the ladder and actually get products made for you. The next part is being able to reinvest 10% of our sales into R&D, so research and design. I know that we're in some weird times right now. We're in the middle of a global pandemic, but we are still innovating. We are still researching and trying to make new products for you guys. So don't feel like we're in a lull right now. We're still shipping, we're still designing. We don't have any issues in our supply chain right now. So please let us know. And the last is obviously being able to deliver value to the customer by reducing your electric bills by $1 billion annually. You know, makes sense. You're dimming your light bulbs, you're cutting your energy bills. So we really do try to be a whole cohesive environment for our customers. So I brought up tech support before. I know I get wary about tech support as well when I call other companies, but our tech support is based in Coopersburg, Pennsylvania. So if you guys don't know where that is, it's about an hour north of Philadelphia and about an hour and a half west of New York City. We're in a great location, little farm town. It's pretty awesome there. So our tech support is based there. And then we have another branch out in Vegas for the West Coast hours. And they are qualified engineers, some of them, and they actually have walls built out in front of them with all of the systems built out. So they will be going through with you, pushing the exact same buttons that you're pushing, seeing the exact same error messages that you guys are seeing so they can walk you through properly. We don't want you to be lost after you call tech support. We really want you to be able to feel like you know what you're doing at that point. So it is 24/7, 363. I think that the 2 days that they're off are Christmas and Thanksgiving. So it's a really great opportunity. If you guys have any technical questions, please give them a call. They're amazing. The other resource that we have for you guys available all the time are our videos. If you guys have not looked yet, we actually have a pretty extensive YouTube page. So just go into YouTube, type in Lutron, and you'll see our page come up. And so on there, we have videos for all of our different product lines. You guys can use those videos on your own websites if you want to, and you can just use them as resources. We do have some wiring videos on there, some application videos, so you guys can really just deep dive into there if you have some spare time. We also have application notes on all of our devices, so if you guys need technical specs, anything like that, they are readily available. I can show you guys in a little bit where you can find all of those. It's really, really easy to be able to search them all. We also have RadioRa2 resource website. So I will talk a little bit about RadioRa2 and some of the changes that we're making and some of the virtual training opportunities that we have with that. The next one and last on the slide is the Lutron LCI, which is our Lutron Lighting Control Institute. So that is actually where we have all of our virtual classes. We have them available all the time. We have a ton of modules for all of our different product lines. So if you guys ever want to do a little bit more research on Caseta or RA2 Select or RA2 or whatever it may be, we have a ton of videos and modules on there. And that's actually where we have some of our virtual trainings as well that you can sign up for. So I will show you guys how to get onto that website. If you do not have a login yet, please make one. It's really, really helpful. I go through it personally, you know, every couple months to make sure I didn't miss anything new, any updates, things like that. So it's really a great resource for you guys. Any questions on any of the resources yet? I haven't seen anything pop up yet. Okay. So the next one I really wanted to show you guys is the opportunity that we have as a smart home industry. A lot of you guys are already installers of products such as smart locks, smart thermostats, things like that. And Lutron is really another great way to add on to the smorgasbord of products that you're already doing, and you're already in these houses. You have a huge opportunity to be able to add in another product category into homes that you're already in. So there are 114 million residences in the US. You guys are spread across the entire country. You all have a massive opportunity. And the average house today has 42 light and shade fixtures. If you guys did not know, we actually do make smart shades, and I will give you a little bit of a preview of that. We are working on some virtual training opportunities right now with that. So if any of you guys are really interested in doing smart shades, it's a huge industry, and I can give you a little bit more information about that. So why are builders adding smart home technology? This is a question I get a lot, especially from my friends who are not in the industry, people that I know. They don't really understand what the value is of smart home technology other than looking cool and making your life a little bit easier. So smart technology really does make the existing home obsolete. You can really feel the difference when you walk into a smart home. You give a voice control, you push one button, and all of these things happen at once. It really is future. It's futuristic. We all used to see the movies of back in the 80s of all the technology coming out, and we thought that that would never happen. But we're there. We are there in the future. Most homes now do at least have one smart home device. If it's not a voice control system, it's something else. So adding in smart technology really does differentiate you within the market. Also, the cost of technology is easily rolled into a mortgage of a new house. So I know it makes it all feel really new and feel really smart. So it is really easily rolled in, and it increases the resale value of the home. The next is that something that we all know is that the perceived value exceeds the true cost of the homeowner. The cost of smart technology is nothing compared to the feeling when you walk into a smart house and you push one button and your entire house operates. It's a pretty amazing feeling, especially for the first time you get to do it. It's a very aha moment, things like that. So smart technology is being added into a lot of homes right now, and you guys are in a prime position to be able to do that. Why smart lighting specifically? So the last slide was about smart technology in general. So why smart lighting? Again, we created the lighting control industry, but we wanted to get into the future. So that's when we created RadioRa2 and started doing, RadioRa Classic and started doing smart lighting. So one of the really big reasons we do it is convenience. We live in an age where everything is at the touch of our fingertips, touch of a button. And so really to be able to turn all your lights on or off with the touch of a button is amazing to new homeowners. I will get to show you some of our keypads later, or our Picos, that you can just walk in, push one button, and your entryway gets lit up and a pathway to your kitchen gets lit. Or you're walking out of your house and you push one button and all your lights turn off, and you don't have to worry about going through, checking every single room and making sure all of your lights are turned off. The next is aesthetics. I know that sometimes as installers, we kind of forget about that, but our homeowners really do care about the aesthetics. They want to be able to spotlight their artwork and decor, and they really want to be able to make their home look clean, as in reducing the clutter on your walls. If any of you guys have ever seen it before, we call it wall acne. The largest one I've seen is 16 gang boxes, 2 of them right next to each other, so 32 switches in a row. It's insanity. I'm helping you guys, we're helping you guys figure out how to reduce that. I'm sure you guys have also seen some crazy stuff before. The next one is security. Being able to turn all your lights on with a push of a button if you hear a bump in the night, or being able to set lights and turn them on and off randomly while you're away. We actually can do that with all of our smart systems. Joel Spiro apparently got that idea from the Home Alone movie. There's a lot of Lutron folklore running around, so that is one of the biggest folklore stories that we have for Lutron. The last is obviously energy savings and being able to extend the life of your bulb. So I promised you guys that we would talk about smart shades. So we are currently working on some virtual shade classes. We're trying to figure out how to do these classes in COVID times. I know it's a little bit of a weird time for all of us, but if you guys have current jobs that you want to put smart shades on, or if you want to be qualified in the future for these trainings, let us know. We can start those conversations. We can get you guys set up with someone who's already shades qualified if you have jobs right now. We really do want to be able to make this part of your toolbox. So as a privately held company, we can do some crazy things. So for the first 10 years of doing shades, we were actually unprofitable. And Mr. Spira stuck with it because he knew that it would be a great industry for us. And now smart shades are actually over 60% of our residential business. This is a huge opportunity for you guys. It is over 50% of our residential business, which is massive. So to be able to wake up to natural daylight, I wish that I could be woken up to natural daylight in my apartment instead of being startled awake by my alarm blaring. It's a really pleasant way to wake up. Your homeowners will love it. You'll be able to automatically lower them at night for privacy. You know, no more fishbowl effect where all your neighbors can see everything that you're doing. And, you know, giving the appearance of an occupied home by your shades moving automatically. Also, cordless design for your children. It is safer. You know, just by pushing a button, all your shades will go down instead of having to pull a string. There's also quiet operation and alignment. If any of you guys have ever seen Lutron shades all move together, it's a pretty cool effect. All of the shades that you group together will actually move simultaneously at the same time. It's pretty freaking cool to watch, actually. And so they're also really quiet operation. You know, you won't wake up the entire neighborhood when you decide to put your shades down. Again, if you guys have any questions on shades, please let us know. They are a huge part of our business, and we really want to get you guys involved in them.
Yeah, hey, Kate, Jim here. Just real quick, I'm sorry I hate interrupting, but it's a great opportunity, and it's gotten easier than it had been in the past with the advent of our battery-powered shades to really be able to make this a part of your business, even if it's, you know, onesie, twosie for a media room. You can put in some really cool solutions. And I'll kind of turn my camera on again because everybody kind of wanted to probably see Kate more so than me. I think I turned it on. But over my left shoulder, over my left shoulder is a door I just had put in. And I know a lot of folks, if you're like me, you've spent way more time at home in the last 6 months than before. I've been meaning to change this door out now for the better part of 5 years living in my house. So the window over it, I'm going to put Lutron's new battery powered blinds that automatically change based on where you are on the planet and where the sun is. So it's a really quick hit opportunity. And like, I think I priced it up. I think list price was around $600. It is a smaller window, but it's just really cool add-on opportunities, add-on sales for you guys to add cool value stuff there. So really look into the shade line. I think it's one of the things that we're going to continue to grow on as a business. And in Southern California, I can attest, it is a significant part of our revenue, and it's very profitable for our shade folks and our dealer folks. So sorry, Kate, I know I hate David Weinstein you and these things, but
it's a good reference, but no, you're good. That's why we want you here. Awesome. So if you guys have ever sat through a Lutron training before, you have probably seen this slide before, but I really want to hit home on this. So we have something that is called Clear Connect. So all of our systems, they don't operate on Wi-Fi, they don't operate on Z-Wave Zigbee. We actually have our own proprietary network. So it is 434 megahertz. You don't have to memorize that, but it is what our network is. So if you guys are on the East Coast, if you're driving up, you know, a dirt road, that is kind of what 434 megahertz is. There's nothing else really on it, so there's no communication issues versus the 405 if you're in LA at rush hour is what kind of Wi-Fi Z-Wave Zigbee is about. So it's super reliable. You guys will hear this all the time if you're Lutron installers, that it just works. I know it sounds gimmicky. I know it sounds like a catchphrase, but I really do truly hear it from a lot of my dealers. Also, our Lutron Clear Connect has been around for over 20 years. So that is longer than Wi-Fi has been widely accepted, which is pretty cool. The other really great thing I would like to point out for Clear Connect, because people do get a little iffy on wireless solutions is that we are actually in massive buildings with this protocol. You know, we're in the White House, the Empire State Building, things like that. So you don't have to be concerned about security issues on it, or, you know, having things work together and having this communication. So it's really an awesome system. If you guys have any more questions on it, let me know. Another slide that if you guys have ever sat through a Lutron training before, you've probably seen. We love our pyramids, but they really give you a good view of the product positioning for Lutron. So we are going to give you a quick overview on Caseta. I know you guys are here for RA2 Select, but there has been a couple of updates to Caseta, and I want to be able to show you guys those. So all of these numbers are the millions of houses available for these product lines. So Caseta has 43 million houses in the US that they could fit into. That is a huge opportunity for you guys. So what is Caseta? If any of you guys have not heard of Caseta before, it is a smart system that was released probably about 10 years ago now. It is a little bit more of a DIY solution, but is still a great opportunity for you guys for smaller houses. It is simple, affordable, reliable. Those are the three words that we use all the time to describe it, and it really is true. That is both standalone and connected home. So if you guys just need to add a switch somewhere, you know, your homeowners don't want a fully connected home, you can easily do that with an in-wall dimmer and a Pico device. So you do not have to fish wire through the walls, cut any holes in the walls, anything like that. You can just add a switch without having to do a whole connected home. So what is Caseta? Caseta is a family of lamp dimmers. So little lamp dimmers, I have about 3 in my living room right now. I live in a little 600 square foot apartment, and I have 3 of these things in my living room because most apartments no longer have overhead lighting. So that's a really great solution if you guys are working on MDUs. The next one is in-wall dimmers and Picos. So again, that's how you can add a 3-way solution without having to fish wires through walls, anything crazy like that. It's in a normal standard wall box, nothing crazy, no crazy wiring. So it is a really retrofittable device. The next is obviously shades. We do have shades that work with all of our product lines, so no need to worry about that. And we also have thermostats and an app to control everything if you want to do a full smart home. We also just released a fan control, which I will show you guys in a second. There are 2 different smart bridges with Caseta, so I just want to be able to point those guys out to you. The first one is just a normal smart bridge. That is the one that you will see sold at Home Depot, Amazon, all those things. That was actually my past life job for Lutron, was working in the industry in Detroit. So now I get to see both sides. And so those smart bridges, they have up to 75 devices. So if any of you guys knew about Caseta before, it was 50 and we upped it to 75 devices. Only 1 smart bridge per system. And the one I really want to highlight for you guys is actually the Smart Bridge Pro. I always push installers like you guys, the professional installers, to the Smart Bridge Pro. That's the one that's going to support your integration that you are already doing. So Control4, URC, RTI Savant, things like that. And it is compatible with our triathlon shades, which is the shades level that I would probably put you guys in. It's awesome. Valuetone has them. And again, it's great for smaller homes. So let's go into a couple of the updates with Caseta. And I promise this won't be too long. I know you guys are here for RA2 Select, but we actually released a couple of really cool things that we've been asked for a very, very long time. So the first thing that we released is a Caseta fan control. This was probably the most asked for device I heard in Caseta when I was working my retail position for Lutron. So it is a 4-speed fan control. No neutral is required, and it only works with a single fan. So it's really important. Only a single fan, only a dumb fan. So you cannot put it on a fan that already has its own remote control, and you cannot put it on a fan light combination. So only a single fan, dumb fan, nothing crazy like that. And if it is ganged with other dimmers or switches, you cannot derate it. So if any of you guys don't know, that means that you can't break off these little fins off of them. It is available in white, light almond, ivory, and black. So it is only available in 4 colors. So yeah, 4 colors. Need to learn how to count today at 6:30 a.m. And so it is a little bit limited on that aspect. The next thing that we released just this year, I believe it was in February, is a new Caseta repeater. So every system can only have 1 smart bridge and 1 repeater. The reason we released a repeater for you guys is actually because we kept seeing these crazy job houses where there was 2 different systems in one house. So the homeowners would have to log out of their old system and log back in with new credentials on a different system. They were just trying to do too large of houses that didn't hit the device count, but they hit the square footage count. So when you add on this device into your house, you will actually see step-by-step instructions on where to place it and a little bit of tips and tricks like that. So 1 repeater per Caseta system, and they are available now. The next device that was released for Caseta is actually occupancy and vacancy sensors. So we do only have the wall-mounted option for Caseta, and it is a different SKU than the sensors for RA2 Select and RA2. So please make sure you're looking at those SKUs when you're purchasing them. We don't want you to have to, return anything, mix anything up. The really great thing about our app and being able to add devices, Caseta and RA2 Select are both programmed via an app, the free app. And so when you go through, you will actually get step-by-step instructions on which buttons to place, where to place your sensors, things like that. So you will see right underneath this left image the guidelines for placing your sensors, and then the right image is actually the instructions that pop up for you. So we try to make it as foolproof as possible, especially if it's your first time placing sensors. A really great thing about these is that they're actually battery operated, so they are wireless. If you need to, you can move them around, place them, and do a little bit of trial and error to see where the best placement is for them. All right, any questions on Caseta before I move on to RA2 Select? All right, I think we are good on that. So the next one, what you guys have all come here for, is RA2 Select. So RA2 Select fits in about 34 to 77 million houses in the US. It's a really great product. It was just released about 3 years ago, so it was released right when I was starting at Lutron, and it was actually one of the first products I learned about, especially being a new product. So what is RA2 Select? Why did we release another home system when we already had 3 of them? There was a massive gap in between Caseta as a DIY product and RadioRa2. RadioRa2 I'll go into a little bit, but it is a computer programming. It is definitely a professional device. And there was just a massive gap in between the DIY and a very, very professional system. So it has the best of Caseta. It's really simple. It's the same app, like I said. It's reliable and it's affordable. But it also is more fashionable. It has more color options, which all of your homeowners will like if they're doing custom homes. It is only available in pro channels. That is really important, especially for guys like you who are doing professional installations. So that means that your homeowners cannot go online, purchase this off of some, Amazon cut price site, and then bring it to you guys and be like, we'll just install it. That really takes out from your bottom line that you can make on a house. So we really want this only available in pro channels for you guys, and it also works on larger projects. So designing a RA2 Select system is really, really simple. It only takes 3 steps. So the first one is picking out your main repeater, which there's only one, and I actually have one with me. So there's only one main repeater, so we try to make it pretty simple for you guys. It is really small and sleek. If you want to see it against a cell phone, pretty small. You can easily hide it, and if you can't hide it, it doesn't look bad, so you can actually have it out in the open. I will show you it does have just an Ethernet in and a power in and 1 button on the back. So super simple, only 1 main repeater option, so no need to guess on that one. Then next is picking your devices. So I have a plethora of devices for you guys, dimmers, switches, lamp dimmers, things like that I can show you. And then 3, selecting your Picos, which I love Picos personally. And if any of you guys don't know what Picos are, I'm about to get you hooked on them because I love them. So a little bit about the main repeater. Like I said, just a little small hockey puck guy. It can control up to 100 devices, so a much larger system. And you can have up to 4 wireless repeaters. So there are a second auxiliary repeater, and those add square footage for you guys, not devices. So I always want to point that out. They only connect to power, so that means you can place them pretty easily anywhere in the house you need them, and it will give you a little bit more square footage. We actually had a question yesterday about some of the systems slowing down when you hit about 30 devices. So it's actually not that you hit too many devices, it's probably that you didn't have enough coverage from your smart fridge or your main repeater. So place the auxiliary repeaters wherever you guys need them. It's always better to have too many than not enough. And those are available at Valuetone. I'm sorry, at any Snap AV. I'm used to talking about Valuetone. So the next one is picking your devices. We do have a lot of really great devices for you guys. So we do have the Maestro style dimmers and switches. So a lot of people really like this style of dimmers and switches better than Caseta. It does look a little bit more sleek, and so people really seem to gravitate towards that more. We do have remote dimmers, which is something that I was asked about a lot yesterday. So if you already have a three-way wired and you don't want to add a Pico on the end of your three-way, we actually do have remote dimmers that are a little bit less expensive that you can throw in that wall box, and you can have now a cohesive look. And so we also have fan controls. Same deal as Caseta, only on dumb fans, no fan light combinations, but they do look the same as your dimmers, so all cohesive look. The next one is our plug-in appliance modules. It is actually one of my favorite devices. I hear a lot of really cool applications for these guys. So you can see it right here, just plugs on the bottom. You can hide it pretty easily. I've seen people throw anything from their computer monitors to you know, their kids' Xboxes, things like that. Really, this does help you make an entire connected home. And it's a really great product. I would love to hear some of the cool applications that you guys have found for these, and they are really easy to hide. The next is obviously the Lutron thermostat. We do work with a lot of other thermostats. We just wanted to let you guys know that we have our own as well, and it is available. The last two devices I really want to talk about to you guys are our lamp dimmers and our plug-in dimming modules. So we have two different lamp dimmer options. One that is a tabletop lamp dimmer. So obviously you plug it into your lamp on one end and you can have the device on your table. It does look like a Maestro dimmer, and you can actually pair a Pico up to that if you would like to. Those are really helpful in especially apartments. Again, a lot of them don't have overhead lighting. I have 3 different lamps just in my living room in my apartment. Again, I'm a little crazy because I'm a Lutron employee and I love layers of lights, but it's super helpful. The next one is a plug-in dimming module, which looks very similar to your appliance module. And so you can actually hide that behind a couch. You can hide it behind a bookshelf, things like that, and then just throw a Pico wherever you guys want them. So these are actually the Picos to control my living room. I have 3, like I said, I have a bunch of layers of lights, and I just hide the lamp dimmers wherever I want them. Any questions on any of those devices? Any cool applications you guys want to share? Throw them in the chat. Jim can chat them out. The next thing I want to show you guys is the anatomy of a dimmer. Again, I'm a little bit of a nerd, so bear with me on this one, but I really wanted to show you guys what makes our dimmers and RA2 Select different. So they're retrofittable. They fit in every wall box. There's no crazy wiring. You don't have to worry about that. No neutral is required in most of them. They have a shallow back box cover, so you don't need to worry about getting an extended back box. Again, just another thing to save yourself some time. They are finless, so I want to show you guys the difference. This is a Maestro dimmer that goes in RA2 Select, and it doesn't have any of these metal fins on it. So smaller, fits easier, and they also have screw tab terminals, so you have a little bit more room in your back box instead of, you know, having all these crazy wires coming off of it. The next thing is actually having a blue screw for communication. So if you guys can see this little blue screw in here right there, that is for adding in a remote dimmer, things like that. It's super easy to do. The next and my favorite part is that they're actually field colorizable. So that means that you can actually pop out this front plastic piece and be able to pop in a new one. So if your painter paints over something that he shouldn't have, because that never happens in our lives, instead of having to buy a whole new dimmer, you can actually just squeeze these tabs, and I have weak fingers, sorry, this one pops out. So you guys can just pop that in, pop in a new color if you want to, if the wife watches too much HGTV like I do, things like that. That's a really simple way. I know a lot of our guys don't actually know about this. I had one person complain to me about a year ago, and they're like, I have 50 of these white dimmers in a box in my truck because I did not realize that I could just pop out the front plastics. So, you know, keep an eye on that. And these do also come in, I believe, about 28 different colors. So definitely keep that in mind, that is a really great benefit of going for RA2 Select above Caseta, 28 colors versus 4. Also, if you do change out the front plastics, you do not need to reprogram. Programming is saved in it, and you can just change the looks of it. The next device I want to talk to you guys about is Picos. So I love Picos. I was telling the guys yesterday I have about 7 to 10 in my little 600 square foot apartment. I love them. They make your life so convenient. The first 3 standard Picos that we had were our lights, shades, and audio, which you can see at the top of the slides. So the way these Picos work is the top is all on, raise lower for your dimming. Center button, which is circular, is your favorite button. So that comes set at 50% automatically, but you can change that if you want to. And then bottom is all off. It's really easy, really intuitive to use, and they are pretty small. So we have a couple different mounting options for them. So they have a 10-year battery life, so no need to fret about that. I know a lot of people get a little wary on battery-powered things, but they are a 10-year battery life. Just a little wash battery if you ever need to replace it. But you know, after 10 years, it's probably pretty dingy, so it's probably best to just go for another one. They do come in a couple different colors, both in gloss and satin. I can show you guys how to figure out the part numbers for all those different colors and make your life a little bit easier. So there are a couple different mounting options because these guys are pretty small. You know, you don't want your cat tossing these off your coffee table or your kid hiding them in your couch somewhere. So we do have a couple different options. So the first one are pedestals. This is mine. So you have a single, double, triple, whatever you guys want. And so you can actually just pop these Picos right on there. So you guys can change them out wherever you want, you know, add in more, things like that. It is a really good weight. I wish that we were in person so I could hand this around, but it's a good weight. So you're not going to lose it. It does have rubber on the bottom, so it grips on your table. It won't move. So again, we have a couple different options for the number of pedestals. We also have a car visor clip. So if you guys want to throw a Pico in your car to do your outdoor lighting, things like that, when you come home, you are able to do that. And the last option is our wall mounting kit. So if you already have a wall box somewhere and you want to just add a Pico in there, or if you just want to throw a Pico somewhere on the wall, we have these little wall mounting kits. You can see mine right here. There's 2 Picos, and I can push these out and just slide in new ones if you want. But it does look like an entire normal switch. So your customers will never actually know the difference. I have one of these in my room, and it actually is just held up by command strips. Again, I live in an apartment, so I can't screw any holes in the walls, but super lightweight, and they're honestly one of my favorite products that we have. So when we created RA2 Select, we actually wanted to figure out a way to make it still feel like RA2, but definitely different. So if any of you guys have ever been a RA2 installer or seen a RA2 system, we have really awesome C-Touch keypads in RA2. So we wanted to find a way to kind of merge the 2 systems, which is why we came up with the Pico Scene keypads. So you can see that there are 5 different ones available: entry, kitchen, family room, any room, and bedside. If you guys don't like any of these, by the way, we do have custom engraving. If anyone really, you know, needs to have specific words on there, you can always do that. Definitely spell check before you do that, though. Don't misspell chandelier to chandelar. So one of my favorite ones is the entryway. I was talking about this a little bit earlier. You can just pick, you know, which lights you want to come on when you come home, a pathway to your kitchen, a pathway to your living room, whatever. One button, you can turn that on, and then an away button when you leave. You know, make sure everyone turned off all the lights. I'm sure you guys have kids and wives and things like that that do not turn off all your lights. So it's a really good way to make sure that nothing's left on. So they are automatically configured in the app. So you will put these into a room, and it will actually, you know, scan the lights you already have and then automatically pick the settings. I will show you guys how you can change those if you want to, but it's really, really convenient to be able to do if you're trying to do a quick job. They are also available for a 10-year battery life. So again, no need to worry about that battery dying. And it's available in all of the same colors as well. Any questions on Picos? You guys are quiet bunch.
No, they're listening. We're
okay.
right in line. There's been a couple questions, but everybody's following on. Great job, Kate.
Awesome. Okay, so the last two devices I want to talk to you guys about are our POW packs. So if any of you guys are commercial installers as well, you've probably seen these before. So the blue ones are for residential. Don't use the green ones. Those are for commercial only. So I get a lot of questions on how to just, do it on off, but I don't have a switch available. This is the way you can do it with our soft switch relay. It's a 16 amp switch. There's no minimum load requirements, which is awesome. And it just mounts in your electrical junction box. So it is probably about the same size as your main repeater, so it's pretty small. And then you just add a Pico on somewhere. So I see a lot of really innovative ways to use these PAL packs, such as front gates or water fountains or fire pits. You guys see some crazy MacGyvered things. So this is a really great option for you guys to be able to add in. The second PAL pack that we have available in our RA2 Select system is our 0 to 10 volt dimming module. I was actually asked yesterday if there's a way to do 0 to 10 volt in Caseta. There's not, which is another differentiator between the two systems, but this is a way to do 0 to 10 volt in RA2 Select. So it is a just another 5 amp switch load. Again, you can use this on whatever devices that you guys are finding, and just add a Pico in somewhere. So it is hidden in the ceilings or the walls, wherever you guys want them. You guys are already professional installers. You guys are probably already using a ton of these brands. So I wanted to be able to show you some of the most popular. Just because you don't see them on the list does not mean that we do not work with them. So always, if you guys have questions, please let us know. We can find some backwards ways to do some of these things. Even if we can't natively integrate into one of our systems, you can probably do it through Control 4 Savant, something like that. So the sky's the limit on some of these. I love to see what you guys end up doing on a lot of your projects. Some of your integration things are absolutely mind-blowing what you guys manage to do. So I would love to see any pictures or videos of things that you guys have done that are really cool. All right, those are all of the devices. Actually, I always forget this one. So RA2 Select also has sensors. So we do have the wall sensor that I showed you guys for Caseta, and then we also have these ceiling hockey puck ones. So pretty small. You just twist off the back and you can put a battery in. They're really cool. If you're in California, it makes you Title 24 compliant. We do have occupancy and vacancy sensors, so it is an option for you guys. So the app layout, like I mentioned before, Caseta and RA2 Select are actually installed on the same app and programmed. So if any of you guys have the app, feel free to follow through with me right now. If you don't have the app, it is a free download on both Apple and Google, so definitely check that out. We have made a couple of really awesome updates to the app. If you guys need any help with any of that, let me know. So normally, if we're sitting in an in-person training, I love picking on people. I love making you guys come up and in the front of the class and pushing buttons with me on my phone to do the programming. But since we can't, we are going to do screenshots today. So if you guys have any questions, again, feel free to let me know. We have Jim and Gary over here helping, and Chris. So this is what the first home screen of the app looks like. You'll see at the top, it says 2 lights on. So it'll actually be able to tell you if you've left lights on, which is really helpful, especially again, if you have multiple people living in a house, you'll be able to see which lights are on, which shades are open, things like that. And you'll actually see down here in the kitchen, the main lights are lit up blue. So that means that those are the ones that are on. So on this, you will see that you have devices, scenes, and schedules. If any of you guys don't know what scenes are, they're really, really cool. So you can actually set up a movie time scene where you have all of your lights dimmed down, your shades close in, your audio stopper, things like that. Just one push of a button or one command to a voice control system, voice control device. You can then make this happen. It's really powerful to be able to show your customers this. And then obviously being able to set schedules. The last thing I want to point out is at the top left, that little gear button underneath the AT&T sign, that is your settings button, and that is actually where you start adding devices and things like that. So how do you add a device? It's really, really simple. I added one to my system yesterday and it took me about 2 minutes. And most of the time it was spent figuring out which outlet I wanted to plug my lamp dimmer into. So you hit that little gear button and you will scroll through until you find the device that you want. You will see exact pictures of the devices. So it's really simple. No need to worry about it. So you go through, pick your device that you want, and then you'll actually see these step-by-step instructions. Again, we try to make this as foolproof as possible. So we do actually show you pictures of exactly the device you're doing and exactly which buttons to push, things like that, to be able to program it for you. You will see that you can pick either your dimmer, your switcher, your fan control at the bottom. So just make sure you're picking the right one. After you pick the correct device, you will choose which room it goes into. So you can pick kitchen, living, dining room, master, whatever you want. If you have a weirdly named room, you can always go in and add a custom room name if you want to. You will also then pick the lights that you control with this device. So again, if you do not see the device name that you want, or if you want a different icon, things like that, you can just click other at the very bottom and you can go through and name it yourself. So I just added string lights to mine, which I can actually turn on. You can see them come up in the background probably. And so I wanted to name those string lights instead of holiday lights, things like that, because they are up all the time in my apartment. So you can just go through and add that device name on your own. So I talked a little bit about these Pico scene keypads, which are really cool, honestly. Again, I'm a big nerd, I love them. So the way that you go through and edit these, remember when you add these in, they automatically go through and set your light levels for you. But if you decide that you don't want your relaxed at 50%, you want it at 30%, you can go through and change that. So you'll click on the Pico device you're trying to change, and you'll see at the bottom on the left image, you will edit a device. So the next screen will pop up, and you can either change the name of the keypad. So if it is living room entryway or living room coffee table, you can do that. I really do recommend naming everything very specifically. That way your homeowners are not confused. Picos are like crack, we like to say that, because as soon as you add one, you are going to add a million of them. So make sure you name these correctly so your homeowners are not confused. You can then go through and actually pick which button you want to change. So if you wanted to say, change your relax button, you can go through, click which lights or shades you want to add on or take off of that, and then change the percentage so that it's dimmed. So I really like being able to do that. You guys are working in these big customs homes, and they want to have a customized feel to them. We do recommend doing a lot of these edits when it's dark out, or if you can close off all the lights. That way you just make sure you know what it's actually going to look like. So how do you edit dimmers? So I want to be able to show you guys this because there are a couple of really cool things that you can do with our dimmers in RA2 Select. So if you needed to change the dimming level, things like that, you'll go through, pick the device exactly how I showed you guys how to do Pico. So you'll just click on it and there'll be an edit device on the bottom. And you can go through and actually click on changing the name of it, changing which lights it controls. And then you'll see at the bottom on this left image, the advanced settings. So you can actually pick your trim or your phase adjust, which I will talk a little bit more about phase adjusting in a second, because we have a really exciting new product that we released last year for this. But if any of you guys don't know, we do allow you to edit your trim of your dimmers. So if you guys don't know what trim is, a low end trim is how far you are allowed to dim your dimmer down. So if you have a light bulb that's an LED, they are a little bit finicky. There's no regulations on how LEDs are made. So if you dim down all the way and all of a sudden your light bulb starts buzzing and flickering and really driving you mad, you can actually make it so you can no longer dim down that far. So say you dim down to 20% and your light bulb starts buzzing and flickering, you can actually set this low end trim right here to only dim down to 30%. So it no longer will hit that moment when it starts buzzing and flickering. It really does help you guys out a little bit, especially since, again, there's no regulations on how LEDs are made. If you guys have any questions on LEDs, we actually do have a full resource website on figuring out which LED is best for our dimmers and which specific dimmers. The next one is being able to pick your phase, which I will tell you guys about this really exciting dimmer in a second that we have, where you'll be able to pick that. So what's new? A lot of this stuff was released last year at CEDIA. If any of you guys go to CEDIA, I'm sure you've heard that it is doing a virtual CEDIA this year because of COVID-19, which Lutron will be participating in. So keep an eye out. That is normally where we release most of our new products. So keep an eye out. So I'm really excited about this device. I don't know if any of you guys have sat through one of our RA2 Select or RA2 trainings before, but we used to have about 10 slides on different dimmers and which exact application you should put each dimmer in. It was a pain in the butt. It was the most frequently asked question I got was, which dimmer do I put in this house? So we tried to make that a little bit easier for you guys. So that is what I have right here. It is an RRD-Pro is the part number, and they are available at all the SAP AV locations. So it is phase selectable, which is kind of what I was showing you guys in the last slide about it, picking your phase. So that means that they work on ELV, MLV, incandescent, halogen, CFL, and LEDs. So it works on all of your load types. So it takes up the guesswork for you guys, which is really what we're trying to do. We're trying to make your lives easier. I know that there's a lot of guesswork and nitpicking with homeowners a lot of the time, so this kind of takes out a lot of those issues. It also has screw terminals like I was showing you guys earlier, so it fits in your back box easier. And it's neutral optional, so that is another way that we kind of take off some of the guesswork for you guys. It's neutral optional. If you have a neutral, obviously connect it, but if you don't need to worry about it. It also has the front color changeable plastics, so you guys can just pop these out and pop in a new color if you want to. Super simple. Again, this is only available in RA2 Select and RA2. It is not available in Caseta. So that is a question I keep getting. It's not available. So this is another really great reason to upgrade to RA2 Select if you want to. The next update that we had, which was a question that we got, gosh, probably every day, honestly. I wish I was being dramatic, but I'm not. I got this question so often about what do I do if I have two homes? Especially in California, we get it all the time. So we previously had to have people log out of their first home and log back into their new home with different credentials. It's a pain in the butt. Lutron passwords have to be super, super long. No one ever remembers them. So we really want to make your lives a little bit easier and homeowners' lives easier. So now you can actually see at the top right on the screen, there will be those two little homes right there. And you will now be able to switch between different homes. It makes everyone's lives a lot easier. Actually, Mike Caseta, who used to be one of our CEOs, had this question when he added RA2 Select into his second home. Apparently did not go over well at dinner when one of the engineers told him that he had to log in and log back out with different credentials. So that got fixed very quickly after Mike figured that out. The next thing that we have is extending the solar scheduling range. So for our schedules, you guys can actually set them based on the time of day or based on sunset, sunrise. So when you go in and set up your system, you'll actually pick your location. And so your system will know where in the world you are and actually be able to figure out where sunset and sunrise are. So you'll now be able to do plus or minus 4 hours instead of 2 from sunset, sunrise. And we did actually add in more scheduled times as well. So now I believe it's every 15 minutes instead of 30 minutes. So that was just added last year at CEDIA. So people are really loving it so far. Let us know if you guys want anything changed. Again, we really like to hear your ideas. So if you guys have any suggestions on things that you want on our app, please let us know and we can fix that for you. So before I move on to some of the resources that I want to be able to show you guys online, I do want to show you another really great reason why you should go with RA2 Select. So if any of you guys do not know, we have another system above RA2 Select called RadioRa2. So RA2 Select is 100 devices with the little main repeater, really simple. If you end up hitting your max size of a house with square footage, or if you need to add more devices in, you can actually upgrade to RadioRa2. So if you hit that issue with Caseta, you're kind of stuck. There's no upgrading from Caseta. You'd actually have to take out all of your dimmers and switches and add in new ones. So for RA2 Select, it is kind of a diet version of RA2. It is all the same dimmers and switches and same SKUs as RadioRa2. So all you'll need to do is switch out your main repeater and reprogram. It's really, really easy. And so if any of you guys run into those issues, let us know. We can actually help you get qualified in RA2 so you can do that. I want to show you.
Yeah, we were talking about shades earlier, and I know 100 devices sounds like a lot, but it quickly kind of adds. That's where we've seen it add up, and I think it's one of the reasons we needed this ability. Because if you have a customer, you know, let's say they're at 60 devices and you're considering Caseta versus RA2. I mean, the RA2 is going to be a little bit more, honestly, but when they hit that hard 75 number, outside of having two systems, it gets in there. Shades add up very quickly on a job. Once they, as do devices. I mean, you know, Kate mentioned Picos. I mean, it's crazy the number of Picos people put in their homes once they realize it. So, you know, just keep your customer in mind, because there's nothing more painful than having to go out and rip out a bunch of Caseta to put in some RA2. So
I've had that conversation. It's not fun. I don't recommend it. Okay, so I want to show you a little quick snapshot of the devices available in RA2. Some of the devices that really end up selling the homeowners on RA2 instead of RA2 Select are our keypads. So you'll see those at the top right are our C-Touch keypads. They are all backlit. They're really, really cool. They're customizable. You guys can pick any names you want on these buttons instead of having to go with our pre-engraved ones. Please make sure you spell them correctly. I keep saying chandelier instead of chandelar, but we've seen it. Please don't do it. Make sure you spell check everything. So those are a really great option to be able to upgrade to RA2 instead of RA2 Select. You'll see on the bottom left that those are actually what our main repeaters look like in RA2. So instead of this small little black hockey puck, you have a white main repeater, which is probably about this large. So nothing crazy. It is a little bit more difficult to hide because it does look like a piece of equipment instead of the RA2 Select. So just keep in mind that. We also have auxiliary repeaters for RA2 that look like the RA2 Select main repeater. So those can actually switch over from RA2 Select to RA2. Again, the only device that doesn't move forward is the main repeater when you switch over. So this is a really great system. If any of you guys want more information, I can give you it. I will show you how you can start getting qualified in it on our LCI online. So Lutron Pro, this is one of my favorite topics. I actually get to run this program in California. It is a free rewards program. I'm sure there's at least some of you guys on here who are Lutron Pros. So all you need is one invoice from your local distributor saying that you've bought a Caseta, RA2 or RA2 Select main repeater or a smart bridge, and then you get signed up. There's no minimums every year, so once you're on, you're on. And there's a lot of really, really great benefits for it. So the first one is having an extended warranty. By being able to offer this to your customer, you will differentiate yourself between Joe Schmo installer and yourself. So it's a really great option. You also get free product from us. I know Lutron does not give out free stuff often, so take advantage of this. So you will actually get points back on every system you install as a Lutron Pro. So you'll get 2% back on points. So with those points, you guys can buy things like main repeaters. You can buy, you know, swag for your truck, t-shirts, hats, the mini Lutron screwdrivers, these guys. These are like gold. I don't know, people love them, but you can buy these off the Lutron shopping cart for points. If you guys ever want to see what's in the shopping cart before signing up as a pro, let me know. I can show you guys the shopping cart. The next one, which is one of the most important ones, I can't stress this one enough, is that you actually get listed on our Where to Buy website, which I will show you guys where that is. So our Where to Buy website is a resource for homeowners, and our tech support actually uses it a little bit as well. Homeowners can go in, type in their zip code, and up pops you guys as Lutron Pros. It is free marketing to you guys. It's based on your zip code, and it's based on which systems you guys are qualified to install. It's pretty awesome. One of my guys down in Temecula, California, is getting a ton of leads right now on it. It's an awesome program. The next one is exclusive promotions. So we do run promos every couple months, actually. So one of them, for example, was install a RA2 Select system and you get a free Sonos speaker shipped to you. Another one was install a Caseta system and get a free smart bridge shipped to you. So those things actually get sent to you directly and not to your homeowner. So you guys can use those on your next job, use them for yourself, things like that. And we do, again, run those about every couple months. So it's an awesome program. I'll show you guys where to sign up. If any of you have invoices already, let me know. The invoice does have to be within the last year. But if not, I'm sure your Snap AV local has options for you guys. All right, so how to get started. So obviously, putting it in your home is one of the best options. I can't stress that enough. I learned the most from our systems from just living with it. So I wanted to show you guys quickly one of the kits that it's available at all your Snap AV locals. I feel like a lot of guys, Gary and I were just talking about this, that a lot of the guys think that their best way to build a system is just by going and buying individual devices. But we do have prepackaged kits. So this is what one of them looks like. The list price is $606. So you guys can go to your Snap AV locals and get your actual pricing for it. But I want to show you what's in one of these. because it's a really great option to be able to start your first system. So the first thing you'll get is your smart bridge, your main repeater. And so you'll get a power cord and Ethernet. Again, that just plugs right into the back. Really, really simple. The next thing you guys will get are 2 dimmers. So there are 2 different versions of this kit. There's one that gives you 6 ND dimmers, and there's another one that we just released this year that gives you guys pro dimmers. So the magic dimmer that I showed you guys earlier, but these are amazing dimmers. So I always recommend this kit. So you'll get 2 of those. Oh God, I'm throwing stuff now on my table. And you will also get one of our Pico scene keypads. So this is one of our any rooms. So it says bright, entertain, relax, and off. And then you'll get one of these mounting kits, which we kind of talked about a little bit. So if you have a wall box where you want to add in a Pico instead of adding in a new dimmer, you can actually just screw this on and you can add a Pico in. And the last thing is face plates. We make face plates. If you guys didn't know, these things are awesome. They are super sleek. I can show you one of these guys. They're screwless. People love them. And so they just pop on and off like that. People love them. We have them in a whole bunch of different gang sizes and different colors. So if you guys have any questions, I think we also have metal ones as well. So these are a really great option, these starter kits. Like I said, we have one that has the pro dimmers in it and one that has other dimmers in it. They are available at all of your Snap AV locals. So definitely start asking questions about it. It's a great way to save a little bit of money on your first system and to throw it in your house. All right, so that is the end of my presentation, but I do want to show you guys a couple of quick resources because we have a lot of really great online things for you guys. So the first thing I want to show you is our LCI. So our Lutron LCI is where we have all of our online trainings. So it's just lutron.com/LCI online. And you will come to this page. Obviously, click the United States and Canada. Unless you're somewhere else, welcome. You can click this. Again, if you guys don't have an account, please make one. It is so helpful to be able to go through this and be able to have these resources whenever you want them. So for RA2 specifically, if you guys want to do a virtual RA2 level 1 or virtual RA2 level 2, this is available. Again, you need to be certified in RA2. You do not need to be certified in RA2 Select. So just make sure you know that difference. So RA2 level 1 is free. It is online. I do know that a lot of times your local reps or Lutron people will come in and do virtual trainings at your Snap AV locals. So always keep an eye out for that as well. But if you want to get certified right now, you just go up to the popular programs up here. You can scroll down and you'll see the RadioRA2 level 1 online. So you can take that. So I can go in and show you guys what that looks like. So you'll go in and you will see all of the different modules. So a bunch of different modules. They don't take a really long time, but it means that you guys can have information whenever you need it. Again, this is free, no fee for this. So if you wanted to do a RA2 level 2, so the difference between RA2 level 1 is that you have 100 devices, 1 main repeater on a system. RA2 level 2 means that you can put 2 main repeaters on a system, so you can have up to 200 devices. So we do have a couple of virtual RA2 level 2s coming up. They are filling up really, really fast, so please make sure you sign up if you are level 1 certified already and need this option. So the cost is $650, but with this cost of this class, you will get this list of products right here. So you'll get a main repeater, you'll get a connect bridge, you'll get a couple of dimmers and an occupancy sensor and some Picos. It's amazing. One of our trainers named Bill Ashley, he outfitted his entire basement in Pennsylvania into a movie studio and like does all these trainings. It's nuts. It's 2.5 days. I know it sounds long, but being able to do this virtual training is amazing. You will have office hours if you have questions. You'll do a couple of design projects. And after the class is done, you actually get to keep the product we send you. So it saves you a little bit of money on your first project. And it is a really awesome class. There's always going to be Bill on these classes, and then there's going to be a salesperson. So I'm actually helping out on the one on August. It's already filled up. So Again, these classes are filling up really, really fast. If you guys are interested in doing RA2, please reach out to your reps and your local Lutron person, start having those conversations. It's a really awesome system. The next thing I want to show you guys is our Lutron Pro page. So again, Lutron Pro is free for you guys to sign up. Just give us an invoice. You guys are already buying these systems. They're awesome. So it is just lutron.com/pro. All right, so up here, you will see not a pro apply. So that is where you guys can apply with one invoice from your local distributor. Or if you already are a pro, you can sign in right here and you can find trainings up here, which is also really, really helpful. So if you scroll down, you will see all of the brochures, the program details, things like that. You will see videos here, being able to ask further questions, success stories. I'm sure there's at least one pro on here. I talk to pros all the time. They love the program. I'm not just saying that, I promise. It's really awesome. I'm really excited that we released this a couple years ago. So if any of you guys are already pros, I'm sure you've seen the contractor mode on our app. So contractor mode is a way to be able to install systems and get credit for them as a Lutron Pro. As of probably 2 months ago now, we actually changed contractor mode into pro installer mode. So previously, if you were a contractor with us, you would have to log out of your own house and then log in as a customer. And again, our passwords are super long. Guys were forgetting it left and right. It was a pain in the butt. No one really liked it. So we actually made the pro installer mode so you can stay logged into your own house and then be able to program at the same time. So you can save your name in there so your homeowners can actually just have your contact info saved up there. It gives you remote access to the system. So that means that you do not have to roll a truck. It's awesome. No one wants to be rolling trucks at 3 a.m. when a light goes out, or your homeowner thinks that their house is haunted because the light is turning on and off at a random hour because it's set on a different schedule. So this really gives you guys access to be able to fix things like that. So it's, again, free on the app. Everyone can sign in. So you can see this pro installer mode. You will just sign in with your My Lutron account. So if any of you guys do not have My Lutron accounts, I definitely recommend making one. The last thing I want to show you guys before I open it up to all the questions is just our Lutron homepage. I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen it, but I did want to show you a couple of really quick resources on this. So the first one is that I keep talking about how many Picos there are, things like that. So a really easy way to be able to find all of the different Pico SKUs is by doing this. So you'll go up, you'll click on products, and then you'll go to RA2 Select. You will hit system design right here at the top. And then you will be able to scroll down. There you go. So you will see all of our different Picos listed here. And if you guys see this, watch this GWH right here that's highlighted. That is the color code. If you pick a different color, it will change. So it actually gives you the exact part number that you guys need. It's really helpful, especially because, again, we have a whole bunch of crazy SKUs. So it's really helpful to be able to see the exact part number in front of you. And this is what a lot of the Lutron salespeople do to find out our part numbers. It's really, really helpful. The last thing I want to show you guys on our website is our Where to Buy program. So again, if you sign up as a Lutron Pro, you can be listed on this. It gives you guys free marketing. It gives you guys free leads. When you sign up to be a Lutron Pro, it is on the second page of the application on the very bottom. So please make sure you click that button and that you add in your own website, things like that. It's awesome. So you'll go up here. You can click Where to Buy as a homeowner. You will click on the residential button instead of the commercial. I'll type in my zip code. And then you will say you are a homeowner. You're looking for connected home solutions, and you're looking for RadioRa2. You'll hit search. And up pops all of your options. So your first one is obviously Western as our rep firm in the area. You can see a little map and you can see which ones are listed where. you will see all of the different distributors that we have out here. If any of you guys are based in SoCal, you probably recognize a couple of these names. And then you can go through and click on if you need a showroom, or if you need in-home consultation, or if you need different products, things like that. Gary asked a really good question yesterday of how these are actually ranked. So they are ranked on what level of pro you are. So we have different levels, just a standard pro, a silver, and a gold pro. So it's just based on how many systems you register with us. So really, really easy. If you guys have any questions on this, please let me know. If you're already a pro and you're not listed on the Where to Buy website, please let me know that as well, and I can get you guys signed up and make sure that that is all set for you. Okay, is there anything I'm missing, guys?
No, we've kept up with the, yeah, for sure, guys. We are all here from you as a whole. I mean, we are part of the Snap AV distributors. So AllNet guys, MRI guys. I'm going to also include in my email tonight, I'm going to dig through there and find out who your reps are. So there'll be a little bit more detail there if you literally do need to reach out to somebody and get some expertise. But all the guys at MRI and AllNet on the front line are pretty well versed with this. I saw some basic questions, Kate. I saw some detailed questions that we were fielding. You know, guys,
awesome.
Really wanting to determine where RA2 Select fit in, you know, in terms of, you know, amount of devices. Sure, that's the biggest, I would say, but yeah, many different idiosyncrasies. But then when you really look at the whole entire package, the whole entire pyramid, if you will, there's so many options. So guys, you know, we are here primarily, you know, not only just for the isolating RA2 Select in this particular training and talking about how to, you know, upgrade your own trainings, but we're here to give you confidence in moving into the lighting category. I mean, that's really it. And you know, week in, week out, we see guys that are stepping up to the plate and adding it to their portfolio, and therefore making the profit and getting that expertise. Shade's another area too as well. So I'm glad we covered that stuff. I know Jim's still on here. We've got 37 people. Guys, we'll leave it open for a few minutes. You think of anything, hit us in the chat box. Kate, great job. And thank you for going through that kit, because there are kit SKUs that these guys can pick up. Just keep an eye on the weekly specials at all the distributors, because those do pop up once and again. And those are great opportunities for you to get a kit, install it at your house. You kind of have a complete, you know, ecosystem there, if you will. And it's a great learning tool for sure, if nothing else.
Definitely.
Lutron rep from Steven. I will find out. Lutron rep in AllNet Dallas, which is newer for AllNet, just expanding into the Texas market. I'll get that to you on the email tonight. Okay, buddy? Thank you.
Yep. Jim, anything to add on your end?
No, just thank you guys. I thought it was a great class, a lot of great questions, and you know, really leverage the awesome folks at Volutone and at I don't know all the different west or east of me Volutone subsidiaries, but you've got a great group of folks there that are excellent resources and can help you with your projects, as well as connecting you with the right person from the local Lutron rep. So leverage that relationship. I can talk to you as a rep is when, you know, when we get engaged by customers like yourselves, you know, we see both of our businesses succeed. So if we don't know you, that's a problem. Reach out and build a rapport with them to help you guys grow your business. And really appreciate the time today. It's exciting to see so many people on, and thank you.
Yeah, by all means. I mean, I don't want to confuse this committee, this group of guys to what this all is. I mean, obviously, we're all under the Snap AV umbrella. For Lutron, Kate, you developed a relationship with Snap AV, a very progressive manufacturer. You guys have developed products and technologies and platforms that work together, and that's only going to continue. As far as the Snap AV distributors, yeah, we're starting to cover the nation, as the dealers need a wide variety of products, and we have the brick and mortar stores, we have, you know, the frontline support, and where it comes to a Lutron using a rep firm, and I attest this with Jim on the West Coast. I mean, there's never been a job walk, a job too big, and I mean, we see the biggest, of course, or not the biggest, but I mean the Beverly Hills, the Laguna Beaches, I mean everything. Yeah. And some of the stuff that the dealers will throw the rep firm are crazy mismatched designs. And it's like, we come to a conclusion, no matter what level that that's the thing. You can walk into a house and it's up to you, but not want to deal with the huge window opportunity for you and not want to have to go down the shade avenue, if you will. We can help you do that. It's not just measurement. And what Kate pointed out as far as selling points on a wide variety of the products today, whether it's, silent shades, battery life on some of this stuff, and the compatibility of the different retrofit stuff that we've got available to you, everything's possible. And we want to help you make profit. And so from the Snap AV locals, you walk it into the stores, from Snap AV as a larger company, from the rep firms nationwide that want to help you do this, this is exactly it. You're part of the right lighting category. And thank you for taking the time to just see what the benefits are. And we're going to continue to be here for you. You want to and go develop your level 2 and get the advantages of that. You saw they're going to be, and I've never seen a RA2 level 2 class yet. And so now, and through what we have to do, we've got to do this virtually. So you're going to gain the certification, and you're going to get at the proper level, so you can get the jobs, you can make the profit, you could, ultimately make the customer happy. So see one more Q&A. I don't know if Jim's fielded this one already.
There's actually a couple questions in the chat too. So Mark, for the invoice that is only required for a Lutron Pro account, to sign up for RA, you would just have to make a LCI online account and be able to sign up like that. And then Steve, yeah, we do have a couple different types of shades. So we do have something called Triathlon shades. So that is a class that we're trying to figure out right now how to do virtually. So you will get both honeycomb and roller shades, and then straight drapery tracks. So it's a really great program. We have a bunch of different fabric lines, things like that. So if you have any more questions about that, shoot me an email and I can give you some resources on that.
Did you see Vincent's regarding the RA2? Vincent did the RA2 training install a few years ago. I haven't done anything since. Do I have to go through an online training to get me access to the latest software and programming again?
Nope, you should just be able to log in with your My Lutron account. If you are a level 1 certified, you can stick with that. If you want to do level 2, you can do that as well. So you should just be able to log in with your My Lutron account.
Okay, good. And yeah, guys, if we have anybody that is primarily maybe on the West Coast, it's still an all-net dealer or even MRI, I'm covering a lot of Utah and Colorado and Arizona and New Mexico as well. So we could take that offline. Hit me if you're interested in us helping you out as far as distribution. That's starting to open up. I think that we're going to see a lot of changes over the next few years, obviously, really, as far as coverage and as far as ultimate support for the dealers. And I think that's why the dealer's in a great situation. Territories and product lines, I think, are just going to continue to be an option for you no matter where it is, coast to coast. And that's, I think, what I see is the bigger umbrella with Snap AV's acquisition of the distributors and their overall ambitions. And it's really great to be a part of. So look forward to some good stuff, guys. Another Q&A?
Any other questions from any of you guys?
No.
All right.
Okay, guys. All right, I'm going to stop recording on this. I'm going to render this. Look for the email after the PM class, which starts 6 p.m. East Coast. Love to have you back. Kate and I are going to have a completely different outfit on. Completely different, right? No. Jim, I invite you back for the expert panelists there. But we'll be back 6 p.m. tonight. Guys, go out and get your jobs done or have your team join up during the day today, and we will see you back here tonight. That will be the 4th and final installation of our Lutron Snap AV Pro Store training sessions. And again, great job, Kate. I know that's tough to cover all that stuff. It's almost impossible. We could go have done these, and it has taken many hours. So, I mean, it is a lightning round, but thank you, guys. Invite your questions. We're here for your support. And I think that we'll take it out and finish it off that way. Kate, anything else?
Nope, that's all I got for you guys. You have my contact info if you need anything.
All right, guys. Have a great day out there. Be safe. It's getting busier, so let's do this. See you at 6 p.m. tonight. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.